Good to see you all today. Small class. Tom, Jessica, Arthur, Steve. And then Arthur and Steve, both of y'all attended the retreat yesterday, so that's cool. Anyhow, how's it going? How's your mudita practice from last week? And I'll briefly summarize what we learned last week. So we learned about the paramis, the spiritual perfections, these spiritual virtues. And then we learned about the third Brahma Vihara, which is mudita, sympathetic joy. So joy with the being of others. Yeah, so how did it go? How was your last week of practice? Are there any questions coming up, and how can I help?
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, so I had two moments during this week. Actually, I started the week not so well in the meditation section. I guess it was because of work. I had too much work, and then meditate. I wasn't able to concentrate well until Thursday. And then on Friday, I decided to take a day off from work and then to just go on a personal retreat.
Oh, good.
To cultivate bodhicitta. And then, so Friday, I meditated most of the time and listened to Dharma talks. And then on Saturday, we had the retreat, the mudita retreat, which was wonderful for me. I think that this was the moment that everything clicked to me. This was the height of my week. So yeah, it started not very well, but then I was able to get better.
Okay, great report. Yeah, and I think, if I were to describe the benefits of meditation in one word, I would say emotional resilience. And so it's this quality just to be able to bounce back,
Yeah, totally.
Anything else coming up for people?
I have a really hard time with the mudita, and I don't know why. And I feel like it's the same practice if I was doing the metta, like the same things, like the people that I think about, like somebody close to me, somebody that I really don't know very well, somebody that I have animosity or have had a falling out with. So it's not the people that I had a problem with, it was the joy. And I'm trying to figure out what's the difference for me, like happiness compared to joy. And it really kind of, to me, is the same thing. So I don't know why I'm having a really hard time with it. And I don't know if it's because that was the first one I was taught was the metta. But I know it's making a difference because my sisters don't live in the same state with me. And my sisters, when they talk to me or FaceTime me, like I'm usually, I've been happy. I've had a really stressful year, and I was always a natural happy person. People would always say, like, everything you've been through, how do you have that energy in you and that always caring type attitude? But this year I broke. Like I reached the max of what I could do, and I could feel it drain me. So lately my siblings have seen me have that light energy, that happiness. And I had mentioned this that I'm doing, and my sister had said, keep doing what you're doing because it's making a difference.
Wow.
So I have to say it is making a difference in my life, but even though the practice, I'm having a lot of difficulty with it.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot there. Well, first off, it's a huge insight that you've had that the practice works even if you don't feel it. So and also the metric for the practice is how you feel in daily life, what your life is like in daily life. So by the best metric, your practice is going well. So there's that. Hey, Philippe, good to see you. And then, hey, Chris, good to see you. Welcome. Anyway, yeah, so that's a good report. Now you're talking about struggling with mudita, sympathetic joy, more than with, excuse me, metta, loving kindness. Well, first off, that's not an uncommon report at all. People generally report mudita being the hardest of the 4 Brahma Viharas. People really struggle with it. Also, I think that for us, and this may or may not be the case, but I think in the West that we tend to struggle a little bit more with mudita because just the way the society is, like this joy is not expressed. Like we're not as quite as embodied a culture as some cultures are. And so this joy is not expressed as much towards us as children. And it's something that's literally taught in a sense and ingrained, and then you operate from that place. So the thing is that in a certain way, you're struggling with it means that you're really on to something. In a sense, the degree to which you struggle with it is the degree to which you stand to benefit from it, right? Okay. So I just want to kind of encourage you in that everything's fine and just keep going, and it's very common to struggle.
I have a question. I noticed sometimes a person that would come to mind when the person I'm supposed to pick, they've passed. Yeah. Does that mean, can you do that with people that have passed, or is that?
Okay, so according to some more traditional Buddhist, like Theravadan Buddhist, I don't know, renderings of the matter or understandings, it's best not to do it to people that are dead. It's better to do it to only people that are alive. But I do it to people that are dead, always. And the way I conceive of it, it works for me to do so, so I do it. Okay. Yeah. And then, you also kind of, and again, it's always good to, it's always being bounced back towards you. So the person you send metta to, the person you send mudita to, it's always coming back. So that's also important to have that going on as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure. Good question.